Hi everyone. Why am I wearing a hat, you ask? Today I'm going to be starting a new series of videos and tutorials. I'm going to call the new series of videos Ingredients in a Hat. So what this means is I'm going to have a hat and I'm going to put a whole lot of different ingredients in the hat. I've just written out a whole lot of different ones, from brown sugar, golden syrup, condensed dates, coconut, marshmallows, cream cheese, cream, milk, sour chocolate chips, white chocolate, dark chocolate, crunchy bars, Kit Kats, Maltesers, Smarties, apples, cinnamon, vanilla essence, oats, Nutella, lemon, just a whole lot of ingredients. So what this series of videos are going to do is each time I make a video I'm going to have the list of all the different pieces of paper of ingredients in a hat, and I'm going to pick 3 random ingredients, and with those 3 random ingredients I have to either make up or adapt a recipe to include those 3 ingredients. So the rules. Rule number 1, I cannot make a recipe that I've already posted on my channel as like a tutorial or as another experiment. Rule number 2, I have to either make up my own recipe or adapt another recipe. I can't use just a recipe that I know. And rule number 3 has to be random, hence not being able to see inside the hat. So this should be a lot of fun. It's very different. I don't think I've ever seen this done before. I hope it's never been done before because I think it's a really good idea and I want it to be mine. So shall we see how this works? Ingredient number 1. Chocolate chips. Ingredient number 2. Condensed milk. Ingredient number 3. Crushed biscuits. That, I must say, is rather a good selection. Chocolate chips, condensed milk and crushed biscuits. I think I can do something with that. Okay, so I think I found a recipe idea. I hope this is going to work. The idea is s'mores bars. Now, I don't know, maybe in New Zealand we do s'mores sometimes, but I had actually never had one until this year actually, and I tried to make one. Well, some friends and I tried to make some, but we didn't have anything to toast the marshmallows with, so we used matches. Failed a little bit, but still tasted okay. So these ones are bars that include condensed milk, so I thought I'd take my adaptation of it. The original recipe calls for graham cracker crumbs. I don't think we have graham cracker crumbs, so I'm going to use vanilla wine biscuits. And the original calls for margarine. I'm going to use butter. It also calls for mini marshmallows, where I'm just going to use normal marshmallows. It also calls for 250 grams of chocolate chips and then a can of condensed milk. I'm actually going to cut down the amount of chocolate chips and I'm going to add cocoa into the condensed milk. So it has that chocolatey flavour, but I'm cutting down on the chocolate chips, so in a way it's making it healthier, but I'll see how that turns out. So I am going to change the amounts as well, so I'm going to just basically make up my own recipe with like sort of like the guidelines. It's basically crushed biscuits, chocolate and condensed milk and marshmallows, so I'm going to just go with that and just completely make up my own amounts and see how this turns out. Okay, so first I've preheated my oven to 180 degrees and I've greased a pan. Then I've got some butter on to melt. I've cut it down to about 90 grams of butter. So that's melting. So now I'm going to take my wine biscuits and just spill them all over the bench. And I'm just going to crush these, so you can do them however you like. I just like to put them in the food processor because it's quicker. So that's processed. I'm just going to take my melted butter. And I'm just going to process the butter so that it mixes all through the biscuits. So the biscuits are nice and coated. 90 grams of butter is plenty for a packet of biscuits. So I'm just going to take it. So I just take the biscuits and you just tip it into your tin and just spread it and press it down into a nice base. And we just place that in the oven for about 5 minutes just to get it started to cooking. Then we go on to the next thing. So while that's in the oven for 5 or 10 minutes, I'm just going to heat some condensed milk. I've never done this before, so I hope it turns out okay. And some cocoa. So I'm hoping that the condensed milk will sweeten the cocoa enough. So I'm just going to do about 2 tablespoons. Okay, so I've heated about actually 2.5 tablespoons of cocoa in the condensed milk, so I'm just going to give it a try, see if it's good. It worked! Yay! So the sweetness of the condensed milk actually works with the cocoa, so that's good. I don't need to add any sugar or anything. It's been about 5 to 7 minutes with the thing in the oven, so I'm going to get the base out and go on to the next. Our recipe called for 250 grams of chocolate chips. I've managed to cut it down to about 100 grams and it ends up being around about half a cup. And I've got a mixture of dark and milk chocolate, so I'm just going to sprinkle them. There we go. So then what we do is we take the condensed milk mixture and just pour it over top. Try and delicately spread it so it's evenly covered. It's difficult to do. But then it's set for 2 cups of mini marshmallows, so I've got the normal size, and I'm just going to see how many we need. So I'm just going to plop them round. So we want it sort of covering the whole thing. You could do these in rows if you wanted to. I was thinking about doing it, but it takes too long. There's a lot of pink ones. So that's 2 cups so far. I might do another half cup. That looks good, so I'm just going to try it like that and see how it turns out. So I'm going to put it back in the oven for another 20 minutes or until these look a bit more toasted and melted together, so then we know it's ready. Wow, it's really quite puffed up. I may have overdone it on the marshmallows, so maybe stick to 2 cups of marshmallows no matter what size you use. Wow, this looks incredible. Oh, it looks so delicious. Can't wait to try this. I just got it out and it's been in there for 20 minutes and yeah, okay, wow. I don't know, how the heck am I supposed to cut this? I'll attempt to once it's cooled down a bit. This cool for a little bit and I've attempted to cut it. It's still very gooey, but I just really want to try this, so I'm scooping it out with a spoon. Looks delicious. I mean, you can wait for it to cool completely so you get nice cuts. But what the heck? It is just spreading everywhere. Okay, I'm gonna try and eat this. Okay, so I have some here. Whoops. Mmm, it's very sticky. And that is really delicious, like, really delicious. It's not too sweet or anything. I think because I used cocoa, so it's not overly sweet, because I mean, you've got the sweetness from the marshmallow. The very sticky, gooey marshmallow. I'm just going to keep eating it because, wow, this is, yeah, you're going to want to make this one. It's really good. We need more s'mores in New Zealand. Seriously. This is amazing. I feel like I've been deprived. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's, well, the first ever video of ingredients in a hat. There will be plenty more coming up. I've also got other ideas for new innovative sort of cooking and baking ways, so stay tuned for those. I can't wait to do the next one and see what else I pull out of this hat. Until next time. So just so you know, I have now changed the recipe a little bit now that I've obviously done the experiment that you've just seen. Please try it. It's really quite fun because mine turned into a big gooby mess, but it's really fun to eat. For a better slice recipe that you can actually slice, not just have a big sort of gooey mess, I've changed it a little bit. So first change, cook the base for an extra 3 to 5 minutes. Second change, when you add the cocoa to the condensed milk, don't heat it, just mix it in so that the condensed milk's not so liquidy and it doesn't get under the base. Third thing, I'm not adding any more chocolate chips, I just increase the cocoa. And fourth thing, only use 2 cups of marshmallows. Do not overdo it like I did where it turns into this big marshmallow monster. So yeah, please try.